Alrighty, everybody, we are back here at ESC Nationals after our slightly prolonged break. Our extreme apologies for that. There were some notable technical issues, I believe, with some of the PCs that took quite a bit to get resolved. Unfortunately, it prevented us from being able to stream the first round of Marvel Rivals action here at ESC Nationals, but we are back here getting ready to stream up our second series. We have Frisco Falcons Navy going up against Science Academy here to kick off round 2 of the event in what will be our first Marvel Rivals game on stream. Once again, I'm Colonel. Joining me is Bearlight. Welcome back. We watched some Valorant earlier. You excited for some Rivals this go?
Oh, it's awesome to be able to see the transition and just how many students across how many games that we've been able to see and just be able to kind of take it from there, right? The 4-day invitational continues here. You know, scholarships are the goal for a lot of these students, as well as just showcasing some of the top talent that we have here. And this is no exception. We got two great teams here. Science Academy Dragons, by the way, they won the offline tech set pretty convincingly. So seeing as Slicks is a national champion in Street Fighter 6 as well and already secured a college scholarship like I mentioned. I mean, there's a lot of talent here in this lobby, and I'm excited to get into round 2 of Marvel Rivals. Let's do this.
And yeah, again, for what it's worth, in round 1 of the group stage here, this side of the XPL FRIS Falcons Navy did take down XPL Ash's tanks in the first set there, and on the other side, Null Esports, the final team in this group, were able to take down the Science Academy Dragons. So in a similar position to our second round of Valorant, the Falcons Navy are on the brink of making themselves into that top 4 tomorrow with a win, and on the other hand, Science Academy are in a pretty rough spot if they lose here. Again, not the end of the world, and again, something that is worth noting, Valorant was best of 1, but Marvel Rivals is best of 3, so we will see at the very least 2 games before we move on from these teams to our third round. But for the moment, we're in our bans here. We get DPS, Pool, Jean Grey, Star-Lord, and Rocket Raccoon banned away, with the extra note of, I believe, Gambit and Elsa I'm seeing protected there.
That's right. Yep, absolutely. Elsa on one side. That's going to be the side of Science Academy. Gonna keep them on board, and Gambit will do the same. Again, it's Frisco with Gambit there. The next one, Star-Lord off the board as well. Science Academy going to get rid of Star-Lord on their side too. And you see, yes, that's right. Cyclops is part of the hero pool. Just introduced about 15 days ago. The rule says 14. So listen, we get some Cyclops potentially here, as they will be saved on the Frisco side as well.
And yeah, definitely a bit interesting to see. Again, obviously these teams have played the game since the character came out, by all means, but they haven't necessarily played competitive, like, organized 6v6 sets against it outside of scrims. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how this extra tool changes this landscape, this meta. Again, obviously, on the Twitter, a lot of doom posting. Some people saying he's the most broken thing to ever exist. Some people saying the complete opposite, but we'll see how it's going to go. Starship going to be the pilot of Mr. Klops for our first game here. As we get the spam lock-ins, get all the flexing of our Ultimate Lord icons, get all of those ready to go. But we're hopping in here for our first round of the day here. And what do you think looking at the 2 comps? What are you expecting to see?
Obviously, you know, the Cyclops is going to stand out first and foremost. They're also playing a bit of a dive. Well, they have the Venom here, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a dive. You have the Magic as well, but with the Groot there combination, I like the Groots paired up with Cyclops, because being able to hold them, their ultimates work together extremely well, especially like you mentioned, the Ruby Rage in particular. Is one that I'm looking at. That Strangling Prison into Ruby Rage is one that can be absolutely deadly, especially when you're not able to block the second blast, was the most recent change, and why you maybe heard all that buzz a little bit earlier on from a lot of the community here for Marvel Rivals. That being said, I don't hate the other side either. You got the Ultron as well, and you don't really see Human Torch making a reappearance here. That has been at least a little bit recently, but Matt Tuity is going to be on that, so that's definitely going to be a key for me, at least, just because you don't see that often.
And yeah, we had to pause there for a moment while the teams were fixing up a very minor problem, and they resolved it and unpaused it, and then we got baited because we are back into a pause here as we get We get a match concluded there, so I'm assuming my blind guess would be that there was a minor error in the creation of the lobby. Maybe a rule is incorrect here or there, but you know what? It is what it is here. You know, there's always going to be some mistakes made everywhere that you go, so not too big of a deal. We'll give the teams a few minutes here to get things set back up, but well, I don't know. What do you think of Bearlight? Obviously, we saw the characters that they were starting on with that initial draft, but what about you and Rivals? Who do you want to see one of these teams play today? Is there any character that you want to see personally?
Oh man, I love that Hulk was around and like made a reappearance as well. Thor used to be a go-to of mine that I've completely ditched just because I like to keep track of, you know, who's who within the Marvel Rivals space. Those two I absolutely love and adore. However, I don't know if we'll see a whole lot of it. I don't know, man. I've always loved Rogue. Rogue is just like the hit W, just dash forward, just absolutely cause chaos. Rogue would be a fun one to watch and has been part of the meta for quite some time. So, you know, maybe we'll see a little bit of a sneak peek of that. But yeah, those are probably the go-tos that if you can't tell, I'm a tank man. So I will go Vanguard all day long for me. What about yourself, man?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see. I did, during the last collegiate semester, I did some casting with a different high school league and covered a few weeks of Marvel Rivals with them. And I noticed Emma Frost was one of the characters that was completely defining the meta there. If one team had it, it was just working, right? Maybe it was just a good patch for the character, but I think that it'll definitely be interested to see if we get any of that. I personally always love a bit of Jeff action is one that comes to mind is... You gotta love Jeff, man. He's Jeff. What are you gonna do? Hate on the land shark? Hate on the little guy who's having a good time shooting water at people? You can't hate on him.
You can't listen.
Definitely. You gotta love when you get 6-man ulted and then he jumps off the cliff and kills your entire team. You can't hate it.
It's a great time, you know, and what's great for me is that it still exists in the Ignite world too. Like you see some play from Jeff, and I think it's absolutely hilarious that still sticks around in meta. How about like the Devil Dinosaur too? Making rounds, perhaps we get a little bit of that. Just I'm here for the chaos, man. I'll be honest, especially like it gets you out of it gets you into. You get other teams out of your comfort zone is what I'm trying to say, right? It's just like, what can we play? Like, let's just have fun with it. Sometimes that'll be like a difference maker for teams. And for me, like Devil Dinosaur with your giant head, at least you take a little bit less damage as far as like the headshot goes, from my awareness. Plus, you're not giving away just like ultimate charge after ultimate charge. Like they created him correctly. So there's some viability to Devil Dino at the end of the day, all right? I'm not saying that we see him often, but potentially in those tight quarter areas, you can chomp away. And that's what I would love to see. I think it'd be fun.
And yeah, definitely interested to see just all of those niche characters that could make an appearance, right? Just all of those characters that maybe get thrown into the category of being one-trick characters that, you know, not super common, but you got the people who are, you know, experts at them. They know what's going on. They know how to play it. I always think back when I was playing, like, the most time I've spent on Rivals was pretty close to release, and you had all the Wolverine one-tricks that were, they could play nothing else. But they were just the most absurd, insane players. They're always hitting the exact right target at the right times. And obviously there are a lot of characters now that have fallen into that type of not super common, not super broken, but when they are played by an expert, they look absolutely absurd. And I mean, again, right, we saw, you mentioned the Human Torch that was getting hovered there. I think that was one of the animated Lord icons. So I would expect that player to be pretty good at the character, right? You're on a land, you're at Nationals, so I'm hoping that you're probably going to have some familiarity with it. So every time I see a character like that just generally has a lower pick rate percent, I'm always a bit interested, because it's like, obviously, again, we didn't get to see him play there as we're getting the lobby set back up. Here we go as we get things going back again here. We do, for what it's worth, swap over to Spider Islands, so I do believe a minor map change there, which is what it is. I don't think this actually matters, right? We're still on Convoy functionally, so it really just shouldn't actually matter, but we'll get into it here. We'll see the pick bans again. My assumption is that they're just going to be required to do the same 10, but obviously we'll have to wait and see, assuming that it should just be the same 10. But considering the map change, do you expect any comp changes, or do you think we'll see pretty similar concepts?
That's a great question. You know, at Spider Islands, it does change tremendously, in my opinion. The first chokehold You can get around. You can kind of play buildings to get around where the defense usually holds up. They play a little bit further back. So I think a lot more of a flanking presence. So we saw like dive. That's like try to get right back or like right on them per se. Versus you can maybe go even a little bit of poke to get out first before you switch over to that into that idea, and then go towards that long stretch from your spawn into first point, which is it feels very long if you're an attacker. So that's what I'm looking for Science Academy. Maybe you have a little bit of a switch off. We saw Luna Snow as well get locked in the last time as well. Very viable character, especially in the convoy world where you have straight lines that you'd be looking down. You can get just so much value from being able to hit multiple characters, not only just your own to be able to get heals, obviously, as a strategist, but on top of that, you just can lay out so much damage too. And look at Angela coming out too from Ryan. I love that.
And yeah, we get through our character picks and bans here. Everything looking pretty familiar here. As we get our characters hovered, I'm noticing a lot of similarities, obviously. Some interesting things to see it here. Sidelock getting hovered right now by the side of Band there for XPL Frisco. So I'm definitely curious to see if a couple of these characters do get kept onto the main team, or if they do get swapped up before the round truly gets underway. Maturity going to be on that Human Torch once again. Slicks on Ultron, so committing pretty heavily to flyers for the side of the Science Academy here. With the side of Human Torch, Ultron, and even Angela to an extent, obviously, has quite a bit of flying and maneuverability in the kit there, so really heavily committing to this flying persona, so definitely going to be interested to see how that runs into this comp. Elsa, Cyclops, Jeff, Gambit even, definitely some ways that they could try and hit some of these flyers.
Yeah, Gambit's perfect, and that's I think the reason why you haven't heard us talk a lot about Gambit, just because it's pretty much a meta play. Like, Gambit's been absolutely unmatched, especially if you have somebody that can perform with it. So, that being said, Science Academy will have the task to try to break through first points, and of course, being able to target those flyers will be a priority right out of the gate.
And yes, Cyclops hop up here, the new big bad of the game, just spreading damage here. Almost a flyer himself with how long he can stay in the air sometimes here. Getting some nice pockets here on his back line. But you see Venom just tanking up damage to the back line. That's Peanut there, just tanking as much as he can until head back to his team, get healed back up before his next dive. His Human Torch up in the air, his Maturity getting just as much damage as we can here. Nice triangle for some extra burn down here. Slams in, almost gets the one tap on Cyclops, but in the background, T-Mat does go down here in this first fight. Science Academy trying to charge forward here. Human Torch going back in. Drew going in. Maturity going to go down. Cyclops able to get that kill here for Starship, as he will be on the quick respawn here, of course, pretty close to the spawn. Drew just holding things down, setting up the walls. 3 people in this room on the right. It looks like they just want to commit to this fight on the right side, with Drew trying to block away some of that damage to the left, but with the return of some of the user players off the respawn, looks like it will just be a reset here. Venom able to get back in the fight, dives to the back line. As Maturity off the respawn takes down Gambit and Jeff here. Some nice value out of that one. Down 2 supports. Nothing you can really do for XPL Frisco here. They're just going to get staggered out as they try and run away.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time to be able to get it together, but Science Academy did eventually clean house, and that was really big. Playing off of Maturity, as we had mentioned, how can they perform on this Human Torch? Is it worth the actual play? The answer was clearly yes, as Monk absorbed a lot of that damage as well. That was awesome.
And yeah, we do have the first point. Just gonna get almost captured, not actually. It'll be T-Mat swapping off of that Venom over to the tanks here. As we see Devil Dino coming out. There's the one you mentioned earlier, trying to abuse some of these closer zones, but unfortunately, Science Academy, they just have ults, right? That first fight went well enough for them, and while there are a few on the other side as well, we've seen Love Nova and Starship pop theirs. They just don't have enough actual tools to try and get back into this fight. Human Torch gonna throw his as well. Just gonna chase this Gambit around. Would love to get a kill, but regardless, that ult is going to secure them the point. So he's just going to farm up a little bit of extra damage and then head back to his team. Just over 4 minutes on the clock. A very efficient first capture by Science Academy Dragons here. We'll see if they can continue to pressure. There's Band able to get a kill here on the Elsa. As again, okay, nice damage there alongside the Cyclops. There goes the Ultron. Maturity takes down Jeff in the back line. Just getting a couple of quick trades here. Elsa does have ult available here. As for the moment, they will be able to just back up a little bit while respawns come through.
Yeah, it's actually a good spot for this point to land in the eyes of Frisco, although they are catching a lot of heat too. I was like, hey, you get cover, you get lots more cover, plus you have the choke point that you can play around, but not when you're finding lots of flank lines too. As you can tell, Science Academy was ready for that all together. They gave them different looks and just absolutely pieced together something special from different angles. That's what you get with the Flyers comp. You already get that verticality, not to mention the horizontal look. So even though that, even though the convoy had stopped in an unopportune spot for them, they found a great way to break through that choke point and continue forward here.
And yeah, Jeff Bolt gonna come out here. Will grab this Luna. Just goes the 1-for-1. Thinks he's about to die, so doesn't want to risk trying to get a nice spit angle. Thor will take down T-Mac here. That's Ryan who swapped off the Angela to it. Matsuri takes down Starship. Again, this Human Torch finding some nice value as he dives onto Psylocke. Forces Band to retreat here. We swap over to Sir Tilted on the Double Dino, trying to burn up some of that charge here for some nice damage, but second tap about to come through, and Dino feels like he has to just run into range, not only if he wants to do damage, but if he wants to really just have any impact to be able to stop this capture. And very tanky shot work here. Healer's doing a good job keeping them healed up. Ultron on the back line here, working on this Cyclops. Will take down Starship, so of course Sir Tilted goes down as well. Matsuri gonna find another one here on the Human Torch. Doctor Strange taking a bit of damage. That's Tina, his third tank of the game, I believe, but unfortunately it will not be enough to save the point here. 2-0 in favor of Science Academy right now in the middle of the first round, and still 4 minutes on the clock.
Absolutely, and God of Thunder back in the day with my Thor, which I'm excited to see as well. It's like they're listening in, I swear. But Ryan did a fantastic job. It's just a quick CC, that's all it took, and then the Rage of Ultron was able to combine with that as well. But Matt Tuity has been a big difference maker and will throw out their ultimate as well.
Yeah, he just raining these tornadoes down. Doesn't look like he'll actually get any final hits on anybody for the kill, but definitely buying his team quite a bit of time to get some pressure on that point. 60 meters in already, and towards that final corner right now. We'll see Luna just gonna pop the ult here. It'll be Groot ult coming in as well. Grabs Thor in it, I believe. Ryan now on the Wolverine here. It'll be a nice pressure. Gets two. Matuidi finds the third in the form of Jeff as well. Trying to just wall this Psylocke off. Ends up walling them in. They will be able to get back to their spawn, but look here now. It's the attack on the final corner here. 90 meters through. Just have to get up this hill and then an extra few steps forward with 3 minutes on the clock. A lot of pressure coming out. Human Torch has things lined up great here for the fire. Wall's coming out, trying to block away some of this healing. As Jeff gonna go down underwater here, trying to set up. Just gonna go for an ult here. Is gonna grab 3. Can take them off the map if he could get there, but he dies before Mr. Hurricane. Not able to get that Jeff side here, as it will just be a very efficient round 1. Science Academy Dragons, they may have lost their first round of the tournament, but they are going to get a very good start to map 1 here in the second round with 3 triple cap here, 2.5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, nicely done. Able to just kind of march forward to you. Now, again, it was a couple of different times where it was, inopportune timing, in my opinion, for Science Academy Dragons on, number one, where the convoy was at the time, because even though you're marching up that last stretch, Frisco was able to recalibrate, or was able to get back together and be able to team up for that last challenge. It still didn't matter. Like, that's how well that they were able to kind of get through both choke points, both opportune fights. They were able to get the better of those opportunities. I was still kind of, I saw 1 or 2 good plays from the Human Torch. I thought, is Matt Tuity for real? And the answer is yes. And Pineapple is the unspoken hero as well with that Luna Snow. I mean, just being able to keep yourself into fights is key there. I haven't seen enough from the Cyclops either to maybe justify keeping as well. I mean, it's just so tough when a hero is so new to be able to find values. Like, you can watch as many videos as you can about how to play a certain character, but until you're actually in a competitive environment, in a live environment as well, we'll see if Starship sticks with it. I don't think it was a terrible, run, but I also like the idea of being able to go back to something and can appreciate as well. But looking like they're sticking with it. So a brave soul, that's what you can definitely say here as we gear up for this round.
Yeah, to start, Angela looking for a very quick spear. Who will they hunt for, though? Trying to pick a target. They aren't going to go for a play off the map. They're going to try and pull Mag back into their team, I believe, but ends up missing out on it here as Matt finds a very quick kill onto Mr. Hurricane here. This Human Torch is playing aggressive, and he is playing well here, getting some extremely good value all game long so far. A ton more damage onto Mag. Look at the ult charges here, 35% already on Matuidi, the highest on the opposition aside from the supports getting quick farmed, are 25% on the Cyclops, so really good value as Pineapple will take down T-Mat. That Magneto not going to find any more value here As we'll just continue farming Angela, looking for a spear, targeting the Groot right now, just doing some damage from above. Shield comes out, we'll be able to back away here as again, the side of Falcons Navy just aren't actually able to regroup here and get ready to try and push this part forward. See the thing, trying to get some nice space bot at the front. Ryan will go down here on the Angela, maybe a little bit too far forward. Groot, though, holding on to the front line, getting fully pocketed right now as the support's able to keep him alive. As Matudi takes down Van, but he will be traded by Starship after that Cyclops. Able to get the retrade and take down the big bad of Human Torch. Monk Nut gonna go down here as well on the Groot, so it should be the fight lost to Science Academy as Frisco looking to try and get any extra staggers at the end of the fight. Doesn't look like they'll kill anyone. Maybe they can catch this Ultron, but looks like he'll be out, so it'll be a quick regroup to Science Academy so they can try and refight.
And that's perfect for them, right? Because the next place where you have a realistic chance to stop this cart is going to be right in front, just before they're able to cap it to you. And that helps, especially when you get that support. I mean, they have not let their guard down by any means, but Groot's certainly in trouble here. We'll see if the Monk can make it out. They've got the Strangling Prison in hand as well, and you know that they're eyeballing. And look at these, can't combine them. It'll be right out now, and the Fate of Both Worlds, though, comes out as they pop that as well to try to keep themselves with some sustainability as they try to reach this point.
And yeah, I think maybe a little bit more communication needed there by the side of Science Academy Dragons, right? It's a great Groot ult in a vacuum, right? I think he got 4, maybe 5 with it, forced Luna Snow ult out, but there's just no one on this team even remotely close to follow it. As we'll see the ult come out from Human Torch, trying to just rain some damage in. Sir Tilted will go down to the Groot Mirror. Matuity just raining damage in towards the point. Might kill T-Mac here, he will indeed. Not going to be the most time bought by it, considering the capture did come through, so the spawn is right here, but at the end of the day, does still get a kill and buys a good bit of time. 3 ults still on the board for both teams, with Psylocke very close to that 4th ult for them. Groot going to get pulled in by the Wolverine. We go for the Wolverine ult, does get a quad stun in the backline. Ryan insta-kills Sir Tilted. Good find by the Wolverine, and again, it'll buy them quite a bit more time here while Matuity refarms this key ultimate here. 30% in already as Psylocke ult comes out. Unfortunately, with 5 people grouped up, it's not going to get too much value here. This down going to get traded out for bans.
Yeah, you got 3 more ultimates on board, but that's a little bit premature. We'll see if the string in Pleasant works for Frisco. Definitely more so as the Ruby Rage. Now we're getting a little bit of sneak peek here, Colonel, as far as how deadly that ultimate can be.
Yeah, I mean, he really does just shoot the ult, and then everybody dies. I mean, yeah, 2 people died directly to the ult. He's able to find a 3rd directly after. 4 and 5 both go down immediately around those. So really nicely done there. So much damage getting rained out, like you mentioned here, by that Cyclops ult. You mentioned it even in the character select, just how scary that ultimate can be. Is see the building gets torn down here as the side of Falcons Navy try and continue their attack forward. They'll lose 3 here. They will retrade Matuity. Does look like a fight loss here for the side of Falcons Navy as 2 will get out, but Science Academy just going to take a regroup here. They only have the 1 Groot ult, so they need to be very careful with how they play this next fight, as again, 1 or 2 key mistakes could definitely lose them that 2nd capture point.
You could tell right on cue that Ryan had accepted that, even as a Thor, where it's all right to play flanks, right? And you want to be able to play the flanks and maybe get some damage towards your Zells. But for now, it's certainly a good hold for Science Academy. Exactly an ideal situation as far as killing time here. Especially when you had 231, it felt like that convoy never stopped. And neither is Cyclops either here as Frisco. I mean, they're finding the picks here. It's just a matter of if they can't keep this convoy going.
Yeah, Jeffel comes out. We'll grab 2 allies who get spit out immediately, and then Monk Nut going to get thrown into the void there for the quick kill. So nicely found there by the Jeffel. Should buy them enough time to get the full cap here, unless they want to refight without some of those missing players. Matuidi will go down here as will be Magneto trying to get on point. He's going to get punched by the Thing here. We'll get that kill there secured onto Ride. Is a recontest here with the Groot just now returning, is trying to wall him off. 0.9 meters left to go on this push, as we'll see for the moment here. Pineapple's gonna find the kill onto T-Mac here. Luna ult gonna come out now for the side of Frisco. Groot ult stacks on top of it, and we have that Cyclops ult gonna come out the second it charges up. 1 kill, 2 kill, and that should surely be the capture point. There they go, securing it. as a very expensive fight it ends up being for Frisco. They burn, I think, 4 ults there, but they do get the capture. The problem, though, they're already at the end of capturing that second point at a time disadvantage, even if they get the full cap. So definitely need to be in a bit of a rush to try and get this third point very quickly to have a good chance in overtime. But for the moment, Science Academy have already won this round, but we'll see if they can win the map in the remaining 2 minutes.
That's exactly right. Yep, exactly. Just be ahead, go ahead and buy some time too. A lot of things happen. Yeah. Frisco's done well being able to nullify a few of the ultimates. Matt Hewitt had a moment there where the Supernova did get there. Was denied completely, but Strangle Prison is available here for Monk as well, so just be able to kill more. You said, how can they perform? Well, right now, they have gotten this choke point. They're exactly where they want to be set up-wise in order to get this happen. Ryan with the Magneto switch as well to be able to just hold on this final stretch as well.
Yeah, minute 45 now. Again, every extra 10-15 seconds they burn away here just makes that overtime run even just that a bit easier. Group going for a really big flank here with the ult. Monk will find a few here. Jeff comes in to try and buy some time. And Toonie, they're going to shut down Hurricane. Magneto Rock comes through, trying to find some value off that Meteor M, but not able to find too much here. But it will be the Elsa ult to get thrown in here. Pulls quite a few together, and that'll be an execution squad. 4 players go down to it immediately. Hurricane, of course, dying earlier, and Love Nova on the back line gonna stay alive here, and they're going for the swaps here. They have a minute 10 to force this cap. Venom comes out now for the side of Sir Tilted. As we'll see if they can find something here for the side of Frisco. We'll have the Venom trying to pressure up onto this high ground here, up on top right for the moment, pushing forward. Venom doing some damage. We'll get frozen here for the moment. Gambit Royal Flush comes out here. It'll be the Luna ult on the other side by Love Nova as Frisco trying to stay connected, but Matuidi once again just raining that damage in, goes into the ultimate here, does get stunned out, trying to recover for the fight here. Goes back up, still 2 seconds left in that ultimate. The healer's doing a great job keeping him alive. He will be able to take down Starship in this Human Torch, and that is great work by the backline of Science Academy. The rest of the team obviously still has to do some work during it, but being able to keep your entire team alive during that chaos, fantastic work by Pineapple and Distan there, able to keep everybody on their feet. Now 20 seconds for this side of Falcons Navy to try and get back into it. If nothing else, they need to get the triple cap regardless of time, so we'll see if they can get it going. They really can't afford to lose another fight.
Yeah, I gotta count. Yeah, you had good concept. I mean, Pineapple, the way they were able to hold on, and they knew Fate of Both Worlds was there. That's when Distan was able to combine. Speaking of which, my goodness, spam Q, let it happen, and just go ahead and finish it here too. Strangling Prison out to solidify things, and it is looking really good. The closeout should be imminent here as overtime. Just a matter of time, it feels like, before they get, but they do have 4 back in, so they're making a little bit of a punch back.
And yeah, we will have the overtime coming through. It is a nice recovery for the temporary for Frisco. Venom gonna respawn. Jeff as well really quick. So as long as they can hold on, almost even maybe consider taking the cart slow before the Jeff gets back. Because again, you need it to get the regroup here. Cyclops getting some nice chip damage. Cyclops comes in through the side. Elsa tries to find that one-tap combo, not quite getting connected. It will be an ult coming out here. Magneto comes out with the Meteor M. Jeff will trying to steal away a few. And there will be one going down. Both supports go down for the Falcons, and that should be the game there. They just don't have feeling. Whereas it's a 6v4. Also, ult comes out. We'll grab the Doctor Strange. T-Mac goes down. Cyclops trying to get some more done. He'll go down to the side of Monk Nut here. And with nobody really left, they'll get the straggling Psylocke, and that will be it there. A nice attempt by Falcons. Had a lot of great moments in that game, but at the end, it's Science Academy with an extremely dominant attack. 2.5 minutes on the clock, and a defense on the third point to win the map out 3-2.
Yeah, they did enough on both sides to really be able to gather together. We're seeing a sneak peek of why they are ranked #1 in the nation as an esports program for high school. Saw that article in USA Today, and they are certainly earning that right. And it's because you just see the love across the board as far as who needs to perform. You're seeing a little bit of everything for it too. You know, for me, Slicks was really big, but it was the two strategists, and they went with the 2 strategist combination for the entirety of that map, and it really worked out incredibly well. But I'm seeing the amount of damage that Groot also sucked up based on his wall counts, plus the damage he added in addition to it. So not just being like a giant head to shoot, but so like everybody was getting it done. Monk hit, you know, it's really timing some Strangling Prisons extremely well too. Just everybody working in tandem is what you have to do at this level, man. Both teams look strong, but they got the better of this matchup here at Convoy.
And yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see what adjustments we get for game 2. As again, while Valorant earlier was a best of 1 here on this stream, these rivals matches are BO3, so it is not done there. Map 1 obviously goes for that side of the Science Academy. Had a great game 1, had very good looks, ended up playing better on both offense and defense, obviously ended up winning in regulation, but we'll have to see how it goes here for round number 2. Is there anything that you would expect, right? Obviously, we could think back to the character selection even with the bans. Do you feel like there's something from that game that needs to be banned, right? Like Human Torch obviously had a great game. Matuidi picked up the MVP. Do you feel like Human Torch needs to get thrown on the ban list, or do you think they need to just try and build around a comp around it better?
You know, not necessarily. I think, yeah, they could build around that comp pretty well, but you know, the reason I say that is because there were big moments, but I don't think they were big difference makers. I think they were able to kind of play, which is kind of crazy to say, they were able to play around their ultimate as well, which was kind of crazy to see. I think if I'm going to make switches, especially if you're thinking from Frisco's perspective, where they're looking to build on something, the Sileps is good. It was good. The ultimate is broken. We all know this, and you can get some value out of it. But I think you can just look, you know, to different places for duelists. In all honesty, there's just so much value, especially whenever we're talking about going to domination next. Now it's going to be all about being able to find flank lanes, but also be able to hold a point pretty consistently. So the entire vibe is going to change around what they do here. So for me, I think that's the change they probably look to heading into the next one, just based off that simply alone. Obviously, it depends on maps too. So as we get that sneak peek, we can talk about it further as far as what they can come out with. But that's what I look to change potentially for Frisco if I had the choice.
And yeah, we'll have to see how it is going to go as we do get things set up for game number 2. We're going to set things to what should be a very small break while we make sure that we can get everything situated for game number 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with game 2 here in a few minutes. Alrighty, we are back here getting ready for game number 2. And Bearlight, what are you expecting to see here after what we've seen in game 1?
I think we have finally have a match where I'm very excited to be able to see kind of the comeback in the strategy coming back into it. I think Frisco will certainly have that little bit of punch and power to be able to fight back, and I think it all starts with their strategists as well. I thought they did a fantastic job, and really I think they may have gotten outshined a little bit there by the Dragons. So I'm looking to see if they can't continue that same thing, you know, not be as frustrated knowing that they did a good job and still weren't able to quite keep the team alive in certain situations. It's going to be all about positioning, because I felt like there's a couple times where they got a little bit ambitious. Did Frisco? Maybe that's the difference maker here. But a lot of success on the Luna Snow. I saw both teams use Gambit and continue with them as well. So I expect both sides try to keep the Gambit. I don't think there's really any need for that. I think both of them are probably going to go that way. But we're seeing our first bans locked in. It'll be a Rocket Raccoon first for the Dragons. Then afterwards, Frisco. Now betting out the Deadpool of the Duelist variety to kick things off.
Yeah, we'll have, again, that is what Maturity has been hovering. I think he hovered it in the first game as well, so definitely a strong pick there. They do protect the Human Torch here. They know that that was one of the things that really got them through that game, right? Obviously, they still played fantastic aside from it, but Maturity was consistently finding picks on backline, consistently getting good value in fights, so they say, you know what, we want to keep the Human Torch around. The opposite will say the same for Gambit, and then we will see that Star-Lord banned away, as well as the Mantis here, two bans that I do believe are being repeated from that first game. Starship going to be getting his Cyclops protected again on that second protect. Very, very similar pick ban here from the side of XPL Frisco. Obviously, some notable small changes for the side of the SA Dragons here, as they will protect the Ultron here as well for their pilot of it. And that, unfortunately, as you mentioned, the Rogue, potentially an interesting, fun character to see, gonna get taken away. And there's another one you talked about, the Luna, gonna get taken to the chopping block. Pineapple gonna lose out on that one, and we'll just swap over him and Band, gonna be on the Invisible Woman here.
Yeah, Invisible Woman makes a ton of sense anyways, just the way you're able to utilize her in so many ways. It definitely takes a place, so that makes a whole lot of sense as well. I think I like this idea from Dragons too, continuously saving their flyer comp to be able to pull that out whenever they need to. They don't even necessarily need to go directly into it. In fact, they may not be doing that. Matuity is obviously going to be locked in for it, but they want to keep that alive just because I don't think Frisco really proved that they can handle it extremely well. You know, it's just they've seemed a little bit focused on some other concepts, and the Dragons were able to really, you know, find times where they could shine, and they're looking to continue this as well as we get things going. So, but now Domination, completely different look, completely, you know, new vibes here for the Falcons. They're going to be coming out with a vengeance. We'll see if they get it done here as we get things going.
And yeah, we'll see. Again here, game 1 went over to the Science Academy Dragons, so they're in a potential series-winning spot here, obviously. Still going into the first point here, it's not like this 1 point decides the winner of the map or the round, but obviously a very interesting indicator if it does go very dominantly one way or the other. But for the moment here, have some interesting picks on Line Magic coming in. We saw earlier on the Hovers in map with the first rendition of map 1, but going to be held here as we're awaiting Brian. Gonna send this strange portal here, an interesting line towards point. He's gonna just throw it straight on there, as we will see the fight breaking out pretty heavily here. Will be Magic getting some damage here. This is gonna be the side of Slicks. Very strong player here now piloting that Magic. Sir Tilted though finds the first kill on Matuity. An early death for the previous champion there, as it will be 6-7 blood going down for the first death of Frisco. Starship goes down as well to that Doctor Strange. Not gonna be hopping on here, trying to harass this backline here to support stacking up, but they will be able to keep each other away from death for the moment here. Magic trying to commit onto them, but again, just too much healing right now. Truthfully, just farming ult already almost 70% of that Dark Child, so in a really good spot right now for the Dragons, who do get first possession.
Yeah, Dark Child is certainly cooking up, but I'm also looking at Invisible Boundary as well as super valuable one, and somehow, you know, Band did a good job of being able to cause enough damage on their side to be able to farm theirs and maybe get to it a little bit quicker as well. So that will be a difference maker for Frisco, especially losing a couple of those early exchanges, but I don't think it's by any means a lost cause early, as the Dragons were able to take the point first, and now we're still continuously getting the one-on-one pieces they need, as you see them just track them down with ease. They've been very strong in being able to do it. Get in early and be able to finish off fights as well. For Science Academy, they continue to roll here. They've been looking nice.
And yeah, definitely interesting to see Science Academy once again taking this round by storm. Again, I feel it worth noting Science Academy are 0-1 in this group right now. They lost to Null Esports, so potentially a very clear power ranking appearing after this second round of the group stage here, as we'll see Slicks take down the side of Sir Tilted here for a nice early bit of value. At the end of that fight with the Dark Child here, we'll see 70% now almost on this objective getting grabbed up here. 2 ultimates, really 3 ultimates, with Strange at 99% here for the side of the Science Academy. So it's looking really rough for Frisco, and while they do have 3 ults of their own, they need to get some really good value. Royal Flush comes out here from the Gambit. Agamotto comes in, and it'll just be a wipe. That Dragon gonna kill them out again here. Go 4 for 0 as they look to chase down the other 2. It'll be Venom T-Nat trying to get away here on the back line. Unfortunately, the only way he gets back to his spawn is by taking the quick route back here. 93%. I don't even know who can touch here. Angela's flanking hard left here just to get the touch. They want to keep the round going. Enables overtime. Doctor Strange portal comes in. They are going to force one more fight here.
They will. They got onto it in extreme fashion. You have to be able to take those circumstances, but they got back. It was well recognized here by the Science Academy team, and now it's just kind of even ground as far as everything is concerned in the middle. You know, Nova was able to fight off, and again, just it seemed like they had their ultimate nullified, but they will be the first to fall, so healing will be of the essence here. They will not very much have it, and they were chased off the point just enough. So, that being said, Hell's Heaven, again, first one in Eldritch Monument, going to go the way of Science Academy Dragons, as they will take the early lead as we move into Super Soldier Factory. Again, it's just those little things, including how important the strategist ultimates are, and the way that Disdan was able to get just a slight advantage going into an earlier fight to force the desperation from Frisco late, I think was a big difference maker in my opinion, Colonel.
Get ready.
And yeah, I mean, again, it's really well done by Science Academy, right? I think that they are in a very healthy spot right now. You look at map 1, right? They had a great attack, an extremely dominant attack, 2.5 minutes left on their clock. They were able to hold on the defense and keep it going, winning the map without going into overtime. And now they flawless the first round here on Hell's Heaven. I mean, Frisco I was gonna say they have to change something, and then I looked at their comp and they have certainly changed something here. Daredevil White Fox coming out here. They said, you know what?
I love it.
We're at a map point, series point here in this fight, in this round, so they are just gonna send it and try and get things ready here. As we'll see Penny shoot some spider mines through the Strange portal, then swap the door here. As a lot of very early blood is gonna get shredded here. As it will be Slick taking down Starship here. Venom getting chased out. And truthfully, it feels like Science Academy are just in a great spot here.
Yes, early. They'll get the first cap as well. But I do want to see Frisco stay with this because I got excited about it. Like the Daredevil White Fox. First of all, I trust Band to be able to get it done just because they've been so dynamic as a strategist, to be able to leap one after another and be aware of what's happening. They've been very good positionally as well. So I think they can really find value. So sure, the first minute or two didn't quite go your way, but I'd like to see them stick with it and see if they can't break through this stronghold. But to your point, I mean, the Dragons have been incredibly strong. Perhaps this is where it changes.
Yeah, we'll see the fight potentially get flipped out. They're just going to commit the Dark Child here. They do not want to lose a fight on this map here. They've been extremely consistent. They haven't lost a fight on the map yet, and they pop the Dark Child to keep it that way. And you know what? I don't really say I disagree at all, right? If you think you can win the fight with Dark Child, why not commit it at that point? As we'll see the nice kill on it through the Gambit here, and they end up being right. The Dark Child enough to keep them on control here. 50 or 45% now picked up here on the side of Science Academy. Matuidi is looking for something. He needs to check this right corner here. He does with the Venom, gonna find him. Unfortunately, he does have a cooldown, so he will simply fly out of there, get back to safety here as Slick to keep the pressure up. Getting some ult charge farm back up. As Frisco gonna commit on the point for the moment here. Venom trying to fight forward. Hell gonna commit this ult. Hella gonna commit the ult rather, as it will see it's raining down, looking for someone to kill here, doing a lot of chip damage to a lot of various people, but now Doctor Strange is just in melee range tanking it up. Thor ult to come out. There goes Bam on the Invisible Woman, 75% on the point right now. Eye of Agamotto comes out here. Ryan keeping the damage up on front, gets Gambit stuck in it here. They're trying to commit to the Gambit kill right now. He will go down. Starship 1 HP as well on the Daredevil. Has to try and back away. Is it take down Slicks before he goes, though, as it will be 87% now on the point. There goes Sir Tilted, 6-7 blood as well going down here. Matuity throwing up the emo here in the air. He is relaxing, and he couldn't be more relaxed here. Frisco have 4 ults, but they need to touch. Venom getting body blocked, and Daredevil can't get out either. And that's simply going to be it. Hell's Heaven 2-0, Science Academy 2-0. And they will go up to 1-1 on the group here, as they look almost completely flawless here in the second round to take that clean sweep over Falcons Navy.
Well, sure, and it doesn't look like a team that's down 0-1 in group stage. They came out with a head of confidence, led by Matuity as well, putting out a lot of damage. I will never, ever, listen, Matt, I'm going to look you right in the eye now. I will never doubt your Human Torch ever again. You were fantastic. The amount of damage that you laid out was absolutely spectacular. Their Gambit was making waves, was fantastic, and you know, I think as a complete unit, they were just completely different. The Dark Child decision-making, you know, being down in numbers, seeing that you lost one of your strategists as well and still stuck with it to cause all sorts of damage. Listen, Slicks might be a national champion in, you know, Street Fighter 6. It looks like it transfers over with the magic, right? And getting those hand-to-hand combats. Well, I guess it's sword-to-hand combats with the way that they play it, right?
The melee combos. Yeah, he just has the muscle memory for the melee combos.
Yeah, exactly right. And what happened? They were confident, stood their grounds, and they were able to kind of take this by storm. The convoy seemed pretty close, but domination didn't really. I thought they looked stronger on domination than they did on convoy. So, hey, good for them. Science Academy Dragons will be at even ground, and so will Frisco Falcons, all things considered. It certainly wasn't their match here this time around, but they'll still be at that 1-1 ground, so it's probably pretty close when it comes to that pool right now, Colonel.
And yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what Null Esports have going on, because again, they beat this team in round 1, which obviously we don't know the exact nature of those games. Maybe they were super close, super back and forth, and it just barely ended up going to the side of Null Esports. Maybe they 2-0'd them and didn't drop a fight the whole time. We really don't know, but regardless, we'll have to wait and see how things go. Here at the end of the second round, still have one more round of Marvel Rivals to go today. Don't go anywhere, or if you do, be sure to come back soon, as we're going to send things back over to what should be our final break of the day, and then we'll be back with our final round of Marvel Rivals in round 3 to see what teams are going to qualify for that top 4 tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Be back soon. Alrighty, we are back here, getting ready to go for our round 3 of Marvel Rivals, and we have a bit of an interesting one. We're actually going to stay with the Science Academy Dragons as they try and make their way into that top cut. They'll be taking on the currently 0-2 XPL Ash Tanks here, so definitely going to be interesting to see how it goes here, as again, saw some fun things from the Dragons last round. We'll see what they do this go.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they were able to bounce back from that round 1 loss, and a lot of it had to do with Matuity and the Human Torch, which I see them probably remaining on as well. So we'll see if they continue that same vibe, continue that same dominance that we saw as well. Also, shout out to Pineapple, who was holding it down on the back line in addition to everything else. They looked so strong, and going up against this 0-2 Asheville team, it looks like they're going to have a keen advantage coming in. However, you can never underestimate teams, especially not at LAN, and so I hope they come out here and give them a challenge, a run for their money. Is it going to be tough? Oh, 100% it's going to be tough, and as somebody from North Carolina, and as this being the Asheville team, I'm certainly going to be rooting for them, but they certainly have a long road ahead based on what we saw from that last match, because Science Academy, they're on a whole different level, Colonel. They looked really strong, man.
And yeah, again, technically some interesting tiebreaker worlds if we get the side of Science Academy Dragons beating the Ash Tanks, and then if the Falcons Navy take down Null Esports, could be some interesting tiebreaker scenarios to look at, depending on obviously some of those tiebreaker stats. But since we are staying in this group here, and we are going to see only the one group here for Marvel Rivals, I do want to pay the respect to the other teams in that alternate group here in Marvel Rivals, in the forms of the currently 2-0 Norwalk Rivals, the currently 1-1 Lancaster High School having their own rivals teams, and then Lake Belton High School with their own 0-1 team, and then Modern Day High School as well with a team in that division as well. So obviously, congrats to all 8 of these teams for making it here, but obviously, considering we'll be seeing this group for a bit, obviously, just wanted to give a brief mention to the other 4 teams who are playing at the same level in their own group, up to their own antics and shenanigans at the same time as we get into our set here. But what are you thinking, right? You're sitting here, right? We'll get into the game here. Looks like we'll be heading over to Midtown, but what are you thinking for Science Dragons, right? Obviously, we've seen them play a lot of success on that Human Torch comp. DPS pool is something that Matuity was hovering quite a bit in that just previous set against the side of the Navy crew. So I'm very curious to see what we get in this ban phase. I would love to see more Human Torch. I had a good time watching it. That guy was messing people up, but obviously at the same time, maybe it'd be interesting to see that DPS pool, which is once again Matuity's hover.
Yeah, I guess, you know, we'll see if they've done their homework here and watched the last match. Of course, they're playing matches of their own, so, you know, I'm not sure if they get live, live ones. But we'll take a peek here. They must have been doing that homework, Colonel. You see what I'm seeing.
And yeah, now the question is, what gets protected here is obviously a lot of options here from the side of Ash, but Science Dragons as well with an opportunity to protect their own Deadpool here if they want to keep the DPS pool, and that is going to be the call. So no Human Torch, but Matuity does get to play the DPS pool. Worth noting as well, the Cyclops protected there for it looks like a BG1 on the side of XPL Ash.
Yes, and I don't imagine that we're going to see much else from, well, maybe you want to go here if you're Science Dragons, why not continue the same trend with Strategist? But no, they like to go Star-Lord as well. I think it just works against their comp, if I'm honest, just because they like to play a flyer comp from time to time. Perhaps that would be preventing them to do so. Either that or they've been watching a little bit of what we haven't been able to with XPL Asheville and just want to make it a difficult time, but they do ban that out. But you see the Wolverine being saved by Asheville. That's after a Gambit ban from Asheville as well, which we saw Science Dragons on, specifically Dan play quite frequently. So I think Asheville, all things considered, it needed to start here and now with the ban phase, and I feel like they've done a good job up to this point.
And yeah, just as a note to get through the remaining characters, Wolverine and White Fox going to be protected. Venom going to be banned by the Science Dragons, and then Mantis the last ban. So again, interesting to see how the comp shakes up. Obviously, from what we've seen of Science Dragons, that Human Torch and Gambit ban going to hit the comps we've seen relatively hard, but obviously that one comp that we've seen them run throughout the first round, or the second round I suppose, just previously, is not the end all and be all of what they can play in the game Marvel Rivals. So we'll see what they want to go here. They're going to bring that Dino back back out here alongside the Thing. And for the other side here, we do have Thor Thing here. So interesting tank matchups here that I don't think I would have predicted considering the map, but you know what? I'm down to see it.
Absolutely. Well, let's see if they stick with it here. If Dino is going to be the play, because I felt like they lined up with something incredibly standard and then said, no, Dino's what we want. I really want to see it, though. One thing I saw this Dan do as well was hovering the White Fox, which I think is a great idea, seeing as they play well, relatively similarly to what you would see with the Gambit, but we'll see how they kind of deal with it. Invisible Woman would make a whole lot of sense in addition to that. Pineapple, no surprise. They're on the Luna Snow, so they're still making their last-second adjustments. Perhaps Elsa Bloodstone, too, from Slicks. Oh, my goodness. Actually, now that I think about it, Slicks, the way that he played last match, that might be a really good call and very tough to go up against here this conflict.
And yeah, so we played a bit of Elsa in that last round, and it definitely looked decent. Obviously, maybe not the same crazy double MVP performance that his duo DPS was going for, but still a very good support tool as Thang. Gonna get DPS'd and stunned up here. Pickles able to get that secure kill on the Wolverine here. Nicely done, as it will be the second kill here. BG1 finds onto Monknut and Dino here, as Pineapple gonna get picked off as well, and Ash off to a very nice start here for this side of the tanks, as Science Academy gonna be forced back into their spawn after a couple of early deaths here. Not going to be in a mood to change up the comp quite yet, as BG1 almost one-taps that Cyclops here. You see the pressure coming out. Pickles will be in a bit of danger, ends up going down. Monknut's going to find that kill. Will be Nicosaurus going down as well. Just playing completely behind the enemy team, raining the damage back in. Able to take down Slay Queen Uwu and BG1 here. Let's see if they can chase it down the side of Vortex here on the support pool. Won't be able to get the kill, but they do get that fight win, and they are 6th on the cart here, and they're moving that at max speed. They're trying to get this first cap immediately.
That's right, Slay Queen. Love it. Favorite name of the competition here. And, but they were chased off ultimately. Yes, Science Academy. They you know, Convoy would have been the less powerful of the two maps that they were on, you know, in the last matchup against Frisco. However, they still look strong. They were still able to win out in regulation as well. So now you got clobbering time. Let's see if they can combine it with a couple of things here too, as yes, there's another Q. Help with the Elsa Stone and the Invisible Boundary. That combination is going to make it difficult to see or even escape, but answered back directly. So now we're seeing a little bit of a bite back from Ashland.
And yeah, we'll get Cyclops just throwing ult straight down the line here, trying to get some value, but it ends up taking down nobody here. The Thing diving back in, feeling something through pretty heavily, but they will be able to find the kill. Silent Vortex are going to be able to secure it here, as we'll see for the moment here. X-Kill Tanks will be trying to re-pressure the front line here. Pickles on the Wolverine, tries to jump back in. He goes down, Vortex goes down. Triple ult here from the Dragons. It'll be the Meteor M at the end, trying to get some value maturity as well on that Deadpool ult. Maybe a little bit less aggressive, scary ultimate, but obviously still getting some nice bonuses here. We'll see the first cap come through, just over 4 minutes on the clock. They'll pass under that bar now, is for the moment only Wolverine with the ultimate. In fact, the only person above 50%, with the exceptions of Nicosaurus at 51 and Ryan just now passing 60. So going to be a very slow farming game for this next fight, I would assume.
That's right. You keep eyes on it as well, because they can go up pretty quickly, but they want the right ones to be there. The Thor gets away with their lives, which was very surprising to me. I mean, they were in a tough spot, but managed to get away with that mobility. But you see them target extremely well. Pickles is down as well. And before I'm able to hand it back over, this fight's basically done at this point in time. Yeah. They don't want anything to do with it. They're going to go ahead and just regroup again.
Yeah, they find two really quickly with some nice flank work. DPS pool does some pressure on the side, but at the end, they just have to back away. I think don't want to lose anything too seriously here as they get ready for the fight. You see the Dragon trying to hold on. Wolverine diving back in from over here. Won't be able to find too much here. Will be keeping the damage up, going into the ultimate here. Gets a massive stun in the corner, but not able to actually find anything lethal. This stand will go down, but not without the cost of 3 of their teammates here. 4 for 1, 4 for 2 now as Vortex and Ryan both going to get added to the dead pile. And unfortunately here for the side of the tanks, it'll be the second cap very quickly for the Science Dragons here. And it is very unfortunate here to continue, as they still have 4 minutes on the clock right now. I feel like it's been almost a minute and a half to 2 minutes, and yet the clock hasn't budged.
That's right, exactly. And they've been having to fight and deal with a whole lot. Number one, Matuidi on this Deadpool is looking just as strong as when he's on Human Torch. Just a different, complete look from the, you know, I felt like that one pick changed the direction of who they wanted to play, and yet still, it's working around it seems impossible. So we'll see if they can't buckle up because they're going to be able to need to. BG1, though, does have his ultimate right now. The Ruby Rush could be the difference, but Slicks has already gotten the first engagement, and here we go again.
Yeah, you say here we go again. Unfortunately, it's already over once again. These fights are absolutely nuclear here. The Dragons, like you mentioned, showing why they are one of the best high school programs in the country here. They are so dominant right now. As, again, worth noting, they're 1-1 in this group. There's somebody that took them down. As we'll see it for the moment here. They're trying to force this path here. Matuidi pops the ultimate here. There goes Luna ult. There goes Meteor M. Will be the Cloak and Dagger ult on the other side, trying to hide from this Maggle. Ends up having to throw it towards the support pool. It'll now be they were just spamming ults, truthfully. Everybody's throwing everything. Invisible Boundary comes out. Deadpool trying to stay on it. Watching Matuidi right now on the POV as we'll see it just continue pressure right now. We'll get grounded here as it starts swapping over to the gun here. Has to try and keep the damage up even when he can't move. Jumping back in now. Focusing on this Moon Knight of Pickles swapped over. It'll be the Cyclops ult off the respawn. And while it's a lot of damage, truthfully, probably about 1,500 to 2,000 damage on that ultimate. Unfortunately, it's so spread out that he can't actually finish anyone off. And that is an even more... No, it's 3 seconds worse than their Convoy last round here. Triple cap with 2:28 on the clock.
What I fear as well is that this is Midtown and not Spidey Island. So, man, that's a really good run. It seemed like Asheville, they had to default to just being able to touch. Like, hey, how can we delay just a little bit longer? And it didn't quite work out that way. They seemed less concerned for winning fights because it felt like they didn't have the opportunity to do so, I guess. You know, so you need more... Man, trying to work around these strategists has been incredibly hard because you could lay out more damage, but at the same time, the Luna Snow has just been so good too. That Pineapple has been fantastic. Be able to find the right time to find value. The Clap has been deadly, but also has been laying out just so much healing, especially when you have a front liner that's been doing extremely well, like Slicks has been able to do, like you've seen. You know, you have confidence to be able to throw that onto Doctor Strange in just so much survivability. Just based on this Luna Snow and the picks that you have with your Vanguards. It's been really strong from them. Plus now with the defending side too, I mean, this is going to be a hard, you know, basic comp to go up against. I guess we'll know in the first 30 seconds how this one's going to play out, in my opinion.
Now we'll see for the moment here how the side of the tanks are going to try and take this attack. A few minor comp swaps here, nothing major. So running a pretty similar comp to what we've seen. Same can be said for this opposite side of Science Academy Dragons. So there we go, early kill. Pickles can find it onto the Moonlight here. Trying to keep the pressure for the moment. There's BG1. One here, Thor looking for some value on Awaken It. But unfortunately, just going to get forced back to his spawn. And if those first 30 seconds are an indicator, like you mentioned, I think we've definitely seen which way it goes.
Yeah, that was a quick wipe once again. The good news for Asheville is they can regroup quickly. The bad news, they didn't take out anybody, which means that it's going to be a full-fledged fight yet again. Plus, you didn't see Deadpool on the backside, too, to be able to clean that up as well. It's just about funneling them right into where the damage will be. Take a selfie because you earned it, Matuidi. You've been doing fantastic here on the big stage at ESC.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing. I've never been so flashbanged by Deadpool just taking a selfie mid-fight. I had to remember that was a mechanic he could do after it popped up. I'm like, is this an emote? And I suppose by definition it is technically an emote, but we'll see Matuidi finally get taken down here. Some nice work by the tanks too. Try and start this fight off positively for the moment. Pickles dropping to the low ground. Wants to keep this positive line, but oh, Doctor Strange comes in, stuns up both the Moon Knight and Invisible Woman. They're both going to get executed, and they'll be joined by the Doctor Strange back to spawn here. But I almost feel like the Moon Knight's got to go, right? How long can you keep playing him against Doctor Strange Magneto? I feel like so much of that damage gets blocked away. If you can't get that good value out of this hand of Khonshu, I feel like this pick has got to go.
That's exactly right, and you have to utilize it like while you're here. So my anticipation is that Pickle will be right back out to use this and then be able to go right back in and make a swap here, because it has been nullified on so many occasions. In fact, I mean, are they going to utilize it here at this point in time? They've just spamming Q on the other side. Oh my goodness, 4 ultimates out here for Science Academy, and you're chased right back into it. And the Moon Knight used it, but it was just not enough. They didn't gather one, I don't believe. Wasn't able to get much damage from it, and continues to just struggle to be able to get out of the gate, just generally speaking. The convoy stays put here as we just have a minute 30, just over a minute 30 remaining.
Yeah, this is just really rough right now for the side of the tanks in terms of trying to win out on this round. Again, they got to find the triple cap to go to overtime, and obviously right now the question is, are they going to find the cap? As we'll see for the moment here, the Drag is trying to keep the tempo slowed down for the moment here. Not too close to any ult. Doctor Strange is 75% is the closest, but this Rogue here going to get the ultimate up almost immediately. Right now it'll pop up here. See if they do want to commit that ultimate, or if they want to hold on to it for a moment here. They are going to send it here. Going to try and keep up with this pressure here. Doing some of those other ults here for the moment. 90% right now on Ryan's Doctor Strange ult, but it ends up just being a 3-for-0 there. Tanks just keep going down here for the side of XPL Ash, and for the moment the Science Academy Dragons again reigning victorious right now. Magneto trying to hold on here for the moment as Monknut just tanking up the front line, trying to find his own ultimate, as we'll see Silent Vortex jumping onto the back line here on his own TPS pool. Saw him on support pool recently, as he's going to hard commit to this Luna. Should be able to find the kill, will get it there for 1 and 2. It'll be a 2-for-2 on the total trade across the map right now, though, so unfortunately Silent Vortex's work are not going to get too much value. Safely, we know, able to find a 3rd kill, 4th kill here in support with this Deadpool. There's 5, so they're going to win this fight. They're going to get the cart moving forward here. The real question, can Science Academy get back? And if they can get back, which I would expect to be the case, what are they going to do to try and stop this overtime capture?
Well, the last time we saw Slay Queen slay was with the Eye of Agamotto that started things off about a minute and a half ago on a great sequence that was there from the Science Academy Dragons. That's going to be how they're going to sneak it up. But now there's no real good area to be able to start that from, but that's certainly what they're going to be looking for. But now they have 4 ultimates online that they can utilize. Another 4 stack, that's probably what we're going to see.
Invisible Boundary comes out here to negate that Doctor Strange ult on one side. This stand going to go down here. Pineapple drops as well, and it does look like Science Dragons might be in too much danger here. Mag trying to kite backwards, will get caught out, so should be an overtime capture here, I'm thinking. Obviously, we'll see to make sure that it actually happens here, but some nice resilience by the tanks here. Still not in a crazy good situation, but definitely a lot better than could have been.
I agree. You know, there was certainly moments where you thought it was just going to be the convoy wouldn't move at all, but they were able to kind of dig deep and figure out that when those ultimates go out together, just kind of one stays on point. You're able to get another one on when you can, and the rest are just going to push around it to be able to get that survivability. Then you'll have the ultimate status and be able to have that eco advantage here too. But the problem is they're going to have to stay on this card. They have 2 minutes left, and they've been kind of diving in. They're getting their toes into the water, per se, but they're going to be fighting a fate of both worlds here on both sides here as both Luna ults are out.
And yeah, Thor ulting out as well. There's the Elsa ult. Just committing a lot of stuff here, trying to force this fight win. Elsa goes for 1, goes for 2. Trying to pressure onto this score. Doctor Strange comes over to help here. That'll be 3 again. Ryan he ulted at the start of this fight, and then actually ended up getting frozen by the Luna, so that ult got canceled, got refunded 50%, but already farmed back up to the next Eye of Agamotto, and they still won the fight. So actually ends up being maybe a bit of a blessing in disguise. Maybe wasn't super happy when it happened, but now probably looking back on it as a fond memory here, as the Deadpool is firing away at each other here on this outside flank for the moment here. Again, Science Academy, or both teams rather, do have this Doctor Strange ult farmed back up, so definitely going to be interesting to see. Negasaurus ult as well available. Distan 90% on the Invisible Boundary, trying to finish that farm up here as Ryan making up what they can. Eye of Agamotto comes out here, will find some nice value here, but not actually going to be much follow-up to actually commit to it. Invisible boundary comes out. 45 seconds on the clock. His own Ayabagamota can come out now to the side of Ryan here. So many ults coming out. There goes Pickles. There goes Awaken It here. Deadpool and Elsa side of the backline. They take down BG1. Keeping the tempo up. There's Gigasaurus here. 35 seconds. 2 players left to kill. There goes Slate Queen. Luna should be out for now, as again, another successful fight there for the side of Science Academy.
Yeah, Deadpool and White Fox, so Nico, Asaurus, and Vortex, they had their ultimates and they laid them out, except for they were frozen because the Eye of Agamotto landed 4 on that stun. That's exactly how you utilize it. You haven't prepared the follow-up that we just did not see from Astral, unfortunately for him. So that will make it difficult here with 10 seconds left. One last-ditch effort potentially to throw everybody on site.
And yeah, we'll be BG getting some nice value here. Silent Vortex is well going to find a kill on this fight, as it should be the tanks actually winning this fight here. It'll be a pretty heavy retreat on the opposite side, is trying to farm some ults up on the retreat. Science Academy, though, should get another fight, and with the ultimates they have right now, a pretty notable advantage. They're going to be in a healthy spot to try and stop the round here at 3-1. Moving forward here, Thor does farm his own ultimate. Himself and Luna have them now for this side of the tanks here. See this Thor ult come out first, as it will be the ult spam. There we go. 3 of them going to come out now for the Dragons. They're committing to trying to win now. Pickle's going to die to the Meteor. Elsa going to commit that ult here. Luna Snow obviously going off with the ult, and it's now Silent Vortex versus the World. Shouldn't be able to find anything here. Gets back to the point and keeps overtime going for a moment, but that will be the end of it here. Science Academy Dragons go up 3-1 on the map. They are able to secure it, and they will go into map 2 with a very strong match point for what should guarantee them a spot in the top 4 if they make it.
That's right, exactly right. And they're going to the domination as well. To Astral's credit, that should have been done a long time ago. Yeah. And they fought deep and even fought 4 ults. It still was able to manage to get to the first point in overtime for an extended period of time. And then kind of marched it forward, won another fight, and then another one strong and wild. So that actually gives me a little bit of hope that they can at least challenge into it. It wasn't as dominant as it could have been. However, we know how this team performs on domination. Science Academy certainly is no Mickey Mouse on domination. They really know how to bring things, and even when you didn't get your main choice of Human Torch, that was banned out for the entirety of map number 1. Perhaps that comes back, because then you're focused on who you want to ban next on the side of XPL Asheville. There's just so much. Like when all 6 are clicking, what do? You can't choose one. Like, oh, they just had more value on the convoy. Well, blink, and now it's domination. So now who you're going to ban on the next map type? Yeah. It's a very tough battle. Will be a very long shot. However, Asheville did have a little bit of life, and that's something that they can definitely hold their heads high at, and that I respect as well going into map number 2.
And yeah, again, obviously one of the other things we're thinking about, right, is that Deadpool has been the thing that Matuidi is hovering first every time. So obviously is a little bit of a concern in terms of, do we ban the Deadpool? Do we ban the Human Torch? Do we give up on the fact that Matuidi is a very good player and let him play whatever he wants and try and ban out something else? So definitely a lot of interesting questions that they're going to have to try and ask to get something. We're going to send things to a real quick break here while we let the teams regroup and get reset for game number 2. And we'll be back with character selection and ban in what should be no more than maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Alrighty, we are back getting ready for game number 2. And what's the official prediction from Mr. Bearlight here? What's the first ban gonna be? Gonna be Human Torch? Gonna be DPS pool? Gonna be something else entirely?
It's not going to be the Gambit again, which is honestly going to be trouble for them, I feel like. That's my prediction for sure. First one going off the map, man. I don't even know. I don't even know. Where do you even begin? It's not going to be Human Torch either, like, because you've already seen it. I think the Deadpool actually might go. The Deadpool was deadly. And so if that's the case and you get the Human Torch back, you go Flyer Comp, and then that gives you a completely different look, and maybe that plays into Astral's hands. So it's impossible to know, but I know for a fact it's probably not going to be Gambit, and I know for a fact that Distan is going to be a very happy person if that is the case.
And yeah, we'll see what the official call is. Rocket Raccoon could be banned by the side of the Science Dragons again. And the first ban from the Ashes tanks are going to be... I'll have to wait and see. Give them a second to lock it in here as they try and deliberate what it will be. And they take the Human Torch away. They don't think they can deal with that Flyer Comp. So they're going to take away one of the key things that makes it function here. And that is going to be the Human Torch. Daredevil going to get protected. And I would really just expect Matuity's DPS pool to get kept alive here. But obviously, we'll see if that's the case. No, they want the Elsa here. So they're going to allow Gambit or DPS pool to get taken off of the table here. They do get their own ban first. I'm curious to see what they'll go for. Definitely a lot of things I don't completely hate here. Venom going to go away. As now the question is, do we ban DPS pool or Gambit? Because the other one can get protected.
That's right. Oh, man. I would say you got to go DPS again. They're going to go Gambit right against my recommendation, but not a bad one, though, regardless. So now you get both of those. If you're Asheville, you like that. However, you know, you like also being able to take DPS, especially somebody who's impactful like Matuity, and being able to give them basically their third, right? One we haven't seen very frequently. But the Elsa Bloodstone, obviously, they already have and saved, so maybe that's one of the reasons that went into you. Why do they ban Gambit? But it's still not a bad ban, all things considered. And now you see that Asheville's going to protect the White Fox. Nico Asaurus, you know, was playing White Fox and basically did the entirety of that last map. And now you see the save there. So the Deadpool will also be on the table, the duelist Deadpool for Matuity. And they're going to be hovering like they have basically all day long.
And then, yeah, interestingly, support pool is going to get banned away. That's what Silent Vortex had been playing. Always interesting. All three of the separate Deadpool variations, of course, are considered separate characters for the purposes of a pick ban. So do have to pick or ban a specific role. So protection on DPS pool, ban onto support pool, and then a ban onto Mantis. Again, we've seen this character consistently banned in the later portions of character selection against this Science team. So definitely expecting someone to be a bit of an expert on it. But here's an interesting idea. Pickles is actually hovering the DPS pool himself right now.
Oh man, yeah, that'd be interesting for sure to see if they lock it in. And they're not moving either. And perhaps that'll be a look. Oh, that's the Vanguard
pool. That is tank pool.
Vanguard pool there for Pickles. And they're hovering on that side. Penny Parker actually has gotten a little bit of love recently. And I'm wondering if Monk is going to keep on this. And it would make sense here at this juncture and for this map as well, but whether or not they stay with it, we'll take a peek there too. Pineapple right back on the Invisible Woman. We've seen Pineapple on Luna Snow as well, but that makes sense here too. Plus the Invisible ultimate just layout that we saw last time was so effective on Convoy. Why not try it out here as well? But those are the things that I'm kind of eyeballing at this point in time. BG I've seen on Jeff a lot, so I'm not surprised that they're potentially going to go with them. Maybe they Hulk up. We'll take a peek. They're kind of back and forth. There it is, taking the final seconds that they have in order to find something that they like, maybe a look that they like before giving too much away.
I think it's worth noting, last time on this map, Science started with the Doctor Strange ult. They had Penny throw a ton of mines through the portal for pressure, and then they immediately went back into their spawn and swapped. So Doctor Strange looking for a good position to put this portal here, just waiting, calming out exactly what they're seeing. And here we go, portal comes through. Penny gonna lead the charge. Doctor Strange jumps on through here. We'll see how this does end up going here for the moment. as we'll get Dr. Strange thrown off. As Penny actually, the Elsa, apologies, is going to get taken down here. The swaps over to Elsa after the fact. Okay, so we do get that early death there for the side of the Slicks here, seeing if we can get back into the fight here. Will be Pickles going down here, as it will keep the tempo up for now. It'll be Distan going down early here. BG going to get a kill as well. Intuity goes down, so definitely a decent start here for the Ashe tanks here, as they are going to be able to win this first fight and get first possession.
I was about to say, I don't know how Magneto stayed alive as long as they did on that point. That was completely owned by Asheville. So they seem prepared for that Doctor Strange, even though they didn't have a Strange of their own, so they weren't able to look into the future and see what they're going up against too. But Science Academy has done that multiple times. It gives you good intel. It allows you to challenge early, but sometimes if you're not able to finish the first or second picks, and then you see a strategist fall, it's just kind of your own domain, if you will. So first time Asheville's really gotten some momentum here. We'll see if they can swing with it.
Yeah, early kills here on display. Slay Queen, Uwu, Negasaurus, Silent Vortex, all going to go down here. BG1 joins the pile. I mean, they just keep dying, truthfully. They get a full team kill here. A bit disconnected, I believe, on its Slay Queen's respawn there, but we'll get the flip coming out here. 27% for the tanks. And again, last go on this map, it was 200% to 0 for Science Academy. So they have already lost more of this game than they lost against that previous side, but see for the moment here if they will be able to hold on for the moment. Invisible boundary definitely set up to give them a nice bit of bonus here in this fight if they do need it.
Yeah, you have the Eye of Agamotto too, plus you have Apex Predator coming out too. Here's the Eye of Agamotto. Yep, 2 dead already. 1 again will follow because they were stunned and isolated in addition to that, and then it's just gonna be a swing through for the rest. Just business as usual, it seems like, right? For Science Academy Dragons. They find an in, and they're able to work off it. Plus, they're able to keep that Apex Predator in hand with the invisible boundary. We saw that work in Convoy, and that's going to be something that you can go right back to, and they're only facing the White Fox ultimate. You got a couple that are close as well in the 90 range, so that's what Asheville is probably taking a little bit of their time in this next engagement to perhaps have that for when they do need to fight in heat.
And yeah, Wolverine trying to find some value here right now. It's going to be the set of Pickles, just looking for whatever there is to see here. Invisible boundary still holding on here. We'll go ahead and commit it here. Negasaurus can go into the ult as well. I'm awakening it as well. Trying to find some value here off of the Thor ult, but won't be anything too crazy here. There'll be Meteor M coming up. We'll see if it's just focused on the Luna here will be the expectation. Finds it as well as this White Fox here. 2 for the price of 1 for Monknut here. And that could very potentially be the end of round 1 here without any of these extra players. Slay Queen goes down. I'm awakening it. Should you follow him? Indeed he will. BG1 trying to look for something here. We'll have to see what the idea is going to be here. Just going to use the backwards dashes to get onto point, but dying at, I believe, 95% there. I don't even think he'll have triggers. No, he does trigger the overtime. The Thor gets in as well. Doctor Strange swap comes in for the portal. Agamotto comes out here, stuns pretty much everybody that got through that portal, and they die. They all die. Everyone is dead except for Silent Vortex, who gets back into his spawn, which is not too much of a consolation prize here in the stake of the game. Ends up finding the kill as well, it looks like here. So, well played for the side of Science Dragons. They go up 1-0 on Hell 7 yet again.
Is it coincidence, or are they just really good at timing whenever they finish off fights? Like Science Academy forces their hands, so it's such a deadly concept to get them into desperation mode, and then your timer in your head knows that the Strange portal is going to be coming back, like they're going to make that swap, they're going to go ahead and try to get back on the point, and then you can just like queen wipe them with an Eye of Agamotto. Ironically, the Doctor Strange is exactly what they needed to fear to begin with, and then that happens. But we can go back to how you said, and rightfully so, that you're targeting with the Meteor M onto the Luna Snow. Fate of both worlds becomes fate of no worlds because your world has been taken away. Science Academy Dragons, unbelievable work. We said that they're strong on domination. Again, we're seeing a sneak peek at that. Asheville got that little bit of time early, but it's only because Science Academy was taking a risk and wanted to wipe them and then just absolutely hold them too. So for Asheville, it's going to be very important they go back to and get an early start and get a cap, and this time try to hold on to it. Otherwise, Science Academy Dragons, well, they're looking pretty sure.
And yeah, it'll be the same idea here. Okay, That's abuse here. It's strange portal, and they're able to pull them through. I feel like I'm watching Lee Sin here with a nice little insect there, as it will get the truthful. I mean, they truthfully kidnapped them, right? They killed 3 off of the kidnap here, as it will get Ryan to get on point here. Captain America having a quick duel with the Wizard, as it will see if he can stall out for a bit. Just going to be on a retreat plan. Retreat path. It looks BG1 though does get caught and goes down. First possession to the side of Science Academy as they take down Cap, they take down Jeff. They're going to chase even more, looking for Awaken It here as he tries to get away on the Rogue. He's going to get caught. Nicosaurus going to get caught as well, and this is looking like we might be done quickly here. Again, this is our final round of the day, so once this series is over, that's it. We're done with day 3 of ESC Nationals on stream, obviously for the Marvel Rivals side, so this is potentially it here. This round goes to the side of the Science Academy Dragons here. At the start, with the first 30%, it certainly looks like it will, as there goes Daredevil again. It's another pick. Rogue in a bit of danger here as they try and back away. A ton of ultimates available for the Science Dragons. Matuidi gonna drop his own on Deadpool for a double kill as he looks to back away now. Supports keeping him alive, goes into phone emote mode, and again, this is not looking great right now for the side of XPL Ash Tanks.
The only thing that went wrong, Colonel, in the entirety of this match, in my opinion, for Science Academy Dragons, was their Doctor Strange play earlier in the first round of this map, and guess what they were able to accomplish this time around? They were able to get that, and that gives you just so much better positioning forward. And now all that space is taken up. You have basically no cover coming out of your own spawn, and they have the confidence to go right back to it because they've been playing so strong as well. It's just, there was nothing that can deter you from just going back to that same play that would have given you earlier success in the last round. And once again, we see ourselves at 80%, where it's like, can Astral even, they can probably touch, but it'll be in a very desperate mode, especially with just 2 ultimates in hand against a couple of their own. But that one was nullified, so maybe they have a shot here.
Yeah, it's going to be the Captain America slam on down here, seeing if they can find the value. No Darkchild to try and turn this one. There goes Dindan, there goes Pineapple here. It'll be the sign of Month Nut Ryan trying to hold on here, but they should surely go down. They are able to retrade on Awaken It, but everybody else pretty much going to die or return all the way back to the base here for the Science Dragons. So 99%, they're one fight territory now, but this is definitely going to be interesting.
Yep, you got Meteor M on their side that they're holding on to with the Eye of Agamotto. So if you catch all 5, you can lay out a whole bunch of damage before everybody else swings around. But you'll be fighting the It's Jeff, as well as the White Fox with their ultimate too. So that's going to be a combination pulled in. Now here comes the Jeff. Were they able to swallow a couple off the sea? The Meteor is going to be looking around to try to land one, and there's already 2 down in this fight.
Yeah, Nicosaurus trying to find some pressure here. Overtime is ticking. Matuidi gonna pop his own Deadpool ult here, but then goes down. As we'll see this, Magneto trying to keep the tempo up. BG1 gonna go down here. Daredevil trying to find something. Rogue trying to find something. Magneto going down here. Rogue could have been the last line of defense here. Now it's Jeff the Land Shark. Deep Deadpool returns here on the side of Silent Vortex here, trying to do something, just trying to stay alive. They don't want to lose. Silent Vortex goes down. Slay Queen goes down, and that will be it. 2-0 on Hell's Heaven, and it is looking eerily familiar to round 1 in the set, not round 1, I suppose, round 2 in the group stage here, but Science Academy Dragons go up 2-1, and they will be in a very nice spot as Matuidi able to take down the MVP here once again, as they go 2-1, and I believe guarantee themselves a ticket into day 2.
Yeah, it seems to be the case for sure, and that's how many times it's just the same story. MVP going the way of Matuidi. Yeah, it's been fantastic, and there's just, it's not much you could do. What fantastic job! They must have taken that first loss, like in their first match in round 1, very personally, and they came out with a vengeance. And it didn't matter what you banned out. It almost seemed like they just had that consistent, just level-headed play, just all the way through. Seemed pretty calm, at least here virtually. I'm not sure what it sounded like there live in Orlando. Perhaps you'll have to tell us in chat how they were reacting to some of those wins, because they seemed electric when it comes to being able to see what they were putting on the map. They were just absolutely dynamic and a great way to wrap up their day number 1 as well here. Their group stage was fantastic here for Marvel Rivals.
And yeah, definitely some very, very well played sets here. As we'll have to wait and see how the teams do end up doing later on in that top four cut. Again, that will come tomorrow. Definitely going to be quite a lot of fun to see which of these teams are able to take down that ESC Nationals title in, of course, not only Valorant and Rivals that we've seen today, but all of our other games. Have Overwatch and Rocket League being worked through on the second stream on the other side. Minecraft is going to continue through their group stage later today, actually on this same channel in about 2 to 3 hours is the update we've been given from production on that end. We'll have to wish the best of the teams best of luck there, but for us at ESC Nationals, again, as always, we want to thank our sponsors and the people who helped make this event happen. Obviously, Full Sail University for giving the venue for all of the people over there on LAN. Additionally, like mentioned earlier, Esports Foundry, such an absurd amount of computers and gaming setups and all of the things of that nature with how many games are going on at the same time, as well as Choice Hotels. I didn't mention them earlier, but if you are interested, go to nationals.gg, click on event info at the top, and on the bottom of that page you can find Choice Hotels 15% off any bookings year round. Again, thank you to all the people who helped make ESC Nationals possible. But other than that, Bearlight, unless you have anything else, I think that's about it from us.
That's about it. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody as well for the fantastic job they did here today. Not only just in Orlando, Florida, they're at Full Sail and the support given, but also all of the parents, all the students, all the coaches that put their heart and soul in here as well. And how about the competitors and organizers for Valhalla, XP League, and TechSF to be part of this and be able to come together to put on quite the experience like we've seen in Orlando, Florida. I was super stoked that I got to be part of this adventure here.
Yeah.
Although it's short-lived and just one day. It'll be in my heart. I'll definitely be following what we have in the future as well, Colonel, for this event tomorrow on Championship Sunday.
And yeah, appreciate everybody, like you said, for hopping out, coming and watching some high school esports with us. I've been Colonel. That's been Bearlight. We've been here with Aeon and Tucker throughout the day on the back end of production. Again, be sure to come back tomorrow for any of those top four game actions that you are excited about or interested in. Be sure to come back in a few hours later today on this channel if you're interested in seeing some of that Minecraft Bed Wars. But for all of us here at ESC Nationals, thank you all for joining us. And again, be sure to come back later today or tomorrow for some more matches.